guys. What am I doing? Okay, hang on. We'll go somewhere else first. So, technically, Pago, it's not actually the last place for the time zone change. There are some atolls. I think one of them's called Baker Island. I did a little video on it once before. It's 23 hours behind. So technically, I guess for anybody who was watching, for it to 100% definitively be the 8th everywhere worldwide, we've still got some time left, because we are still, as you can see on the bottom of my world clock there, we are still yesterday in some places. Now, having said that, I did say in some previous videos that sort of the period that I'm looking most closely at the moment was from 7th, based on varying people's research, including Cool Cats and Repo Man, Spinebreaker, some other channels, I can't remember right now, that had been pointing to January 7. Rebecca King, who comments on this channel a bit, had 2,300 days starting from the Revelation 12 sign, ending on January 10th. So I'm sort of most closely looking at around that day at the moment. Also trying to see how that could potentially tie into Amos about turning feast days into mourning, which I presume a rapture would do quite well. So I'm sort of going through varying sites at the moment to work out when the feast days are and all the varying holidays, because I imagine that's an umbrella term, turn your feast days into mourning. If it was looking forward in time, I think it'd include any of the sort of more modern holidays that they've added as well, perhaps. But it's very difficult to nut it all out, because you've got different calendars, as you can see. This page displays the Israel holiday schedule. The diaspora schedule is used by Jews living outside of Israel. So if you click on that, like I just did, it'll bring up a different calendar. I've only quickly looked through it. I think all the dates are still the same. But then you have sites like, let's go back through the history a tad. Here we go. Ones like this. This one is a slightly smaller list, so you've got to double check them, make sure the dates are all the same. And then you have ones like this from the Jerusalem Post, where there's a whole heap of them, and this one includes some more modern ones as well. So what I'm trying to do is sort of tile that potentially into Amos, and where it says, there's a mention of the moon here, that they'll cause the sun to go down at noon, and it'll darken the earth in the clear day. That could be maybe a bomb. And then we've got, I'll turn your feast days into mourning and all your songs into lamentation. Before that, verse 5, saying, when will the new moon be gone, that we may sell corn, and that the Sabbath, that we may set forth wheat. So there's a mention of a new moon there. We've got one coming up in January the 11th. Dog sitting next to me licking himself like mad. He's got a splinter in his foot, or a thorn in his foot. Anyway, so I'm just trying to tie all that in, but at the moment, this 2,300 days from the Revelation 12 sign, sort of coinciding with a new moon the next day. The mention of new moon here turning of feast days into mourning. I'm just trying to tie all this in together to see if there may be a little bit more supportive evidence to give us something to look forward to, perhaps around the 10th, 11th. But it's a hard slog. As you can see, there are so many different Jewish calendars, etc. And I like, the bit about the summer fruit and that, sort of just past that, and it's all kind of tying in, but it also ties in with Habakkuk and Haggai and all the other verses that varying watchmen have looked at. We've kind of past Cool Cat's high watch date now, really, in reality. So we're looking at Israel, but as I said, we could still have a few hours left in different places in the world somewhere. I don't know whether that means anything or not. But right at this point in time, I think for the next few days, we're in sort of a bit of a holding pattern. And I don't have anything to bring to the table right now. So I encourage everybody to like, share and comment. And if you've got anything else that you can bring to the table, that'd be great. I'd be happy to do a video on it for you if you can't do them or don't want to do them yourself, if you give me enough information. But right now we just continue to look up, pray and hope. We know things are going crazy in Israel, and we've got all this new Miami UFO stuff going on. I just don't know. It's such a deceptive time and a difficult time to fully interpret where we're at. But one thing I can say is that we need to really fully understand that it's not by our works or our intellect or our pride or our ego or our social standing or our anything. It's not any of those things that get us to heaven. It's Jesus and his perfect works. We've got to rely 100% on that. Anyway, guys, God bless. Keep looking up, and I hope to either have some new information soon or see you all at the marriage supper of the Lamb.